Hi, welcome to Bobcat Buddies Story Time. My name's Carly and I'm really excited to talk to you about a super important topic. We're going to talk about acceptance. Acceptance is a big word for loving and respecting people for who they are. Even if someone looks different, acts different, or talks different than you, acceptance is being kind and respectful no matter what. We'll be using one of my favorite animals, ducks, to talk about how to be accepting people. We'll read a story, watch a video, sing a song, do a craft, and play a game that teaches us how to be accepting to our friends and family in our everyday life. I hope you guys have a bunch of fun and have a great time learning how to be accepting. Bye!
Hi everyone, listen to this short story called The Ugly Duckling and notice who is accepting and who isn't accepting of the ugly duckling and how it makes him feel. The Ugly Duckling, adapted by John O'Grady, illustrated by Mike Jarowsko. High upon her unhatched egg, the mother duck sat for yet another night. Her duckling was taking its time. The sixth egg was larger than the others. It was a different color too. The mother duck spoke to it. "Come on now, little one. All of your brothers and sisters are waiting for you." With those words, a crack began to grow in the shell of the sixth egg. Then the egg rocked gently. The mother duck smiled as her last duckling broke through the shell. "Aren't you a large duckling?" she quacked. "Your neck is so long you're not quite as yellow as the others, but I love all six of you the same." Soon the ducklings waded into the water for their first swim. The large gray duckling was an especially strong swimmer. After days of swimming practice, the mother duck brought her ducklings to meet the other animals. "What have we here?" asked the peacock. The mother duck said, "This is my youngest. He's also the ugliest of your ducklings," laughed the peacock. "Yes, my youngest looks a little different," said the mother duck, "but he is my strongest swimmer." The mother duck gathered her ducklings. "Pay no mind to the peacock," she told him. "Remember, I love you all the same." But the ugly duckling felt terrible. That night, he decided he must run away and let the rest of his family enjoy the pond without him. When he was sure that everyone was fast asleep, the ugly duckling walked into the night. When the sun rose the next day, the ugly duckling found himself at the edge of a new pond. Geese lived on this pond. "Are you lost, duckling?" one goose asked. "No, I'm not lost," said the ugly duckling. "I have run away from home." "We're just going to fly away ourselves," said the goose. "You are welcome to fly with us." The ugly duckling felt very lucky to have met such friends. But just as the ugly duckling started to say he would fly with them, a big howling dog leaped from the grasses and startled the flock of geese. The geese flew into the air and quickly out of sight. The ugly duckling hid among the cattails, afraid to move. He sat there for hours. Day turned into night, and the dog did not return, but neither did the geese. The geese knew something that the ugly duckling did not. Winter was coming, and they needed to travel to warmer waters, and this would be the duckling's first winter. With winter came wind, ice, and bitter cold. The ugly duckling was also very lonely. More and more, he missed his mother. He also missed his brothers, sisters, and the warm waters of their pond. One night, the ugly duckling had a wonderful dream. A fire warmed his feathers, and walls held off the wind and snow. Not wishing to wake, the ugly duckling opened just one eye. A cat and a hen were peering at him. "Where am I?" asked the ugly duckling. "Our old woman found you," said the cat. "She brought you home so you could thaw out." Each day, the ugly duckling sat by the window and watched for signs of spring. Soon he decided it was time to leave. For days, the ugly duckling walked and walked, searching for a place where he could rest and stay warm. Finally, he came to a marsh, where he curled up inside a hollow tree. The snow soon melted, the marsh came alive, and birds returned to their nests. One morning, the duckling awoke to find 4 swans gliding on the water. "Good morning, swans," said the ugly duckling. "I'm sorry to make you look at me," continued the ugly duckling, "but I must swim to find food." You are a pleasure to see," said one of the swans. "Your feathers are like pure snow, and your neck is so long and graceful." said another swan. Please do not mock me, said the ugly duckling. The largest swan swam to his side. Open your eyes, friend, said the swan. We do not mock you. The ugly duckling glanced at his reflection in the water. It was the most beautiful swan he had ever seen. That is me, he asked the large swan. Of course that is you, the large swan said gently. Where is your family? Why are you alone? The beautiful new swan told his tale to the other swans. And I still miss my mother, he said. She loved me even when I was an ugly duckling. Now I am afraid I will never see her again. I will help you find her, said the large swan. So the 5 swans flew off on their search. Soon they reached that special pond where a mother once sat, patiently waiting for her eggs to hatch. Mother, I'm back home, said the beautiful swan, who was once an ugly duckling. And his mother still loved him just the same, whether an ugly duckling or a beautiful swan. This book ties into the concept of acceptance, and you can see how the mother duck says how she loves all 6 of her ducklings the same, no matter on how they look, who's the most yellow, who's the ugly duckling, who was a swan in the end, that they were all loved equally, no matter on how they looked. And then you can see how the peacock was mean to the ugly duckling, saying that he was the ugliest of all the ducklings, and it made the ugly duckling sad, and made him want to run away from the pond and leave his siblings to live there without him. So potentially, you should always be accepting and look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you accepting of other people? And notice how it makes others feel. Thanks.
Hi everybody, so for our story time today, for a song to go along with it, I chose When You Wish Upon a Star, and I thought it fit the theme of the ugly duckling really well, just because the entire story of the ugly duckling just wants to be accepted and dreams and wishes that he could be like all of his beautiful siblings and all the other ducks who aren't ugly, who aren't gray and don't look different like he does. And he just kind of hopes for that for the entire book, and at the end of the book he becomes a beautiful swan, not even a duck, he's a beautiful swan, and he gets to go back home because he says, I still miss my mom, I wish I could go back home. And he goes back home, he finds his mother. And so When You Wish Upon a Star, it says, it makes no difference who you are, anything your heart desires will come to you. Doesn't matter that he was ugly, that he looked different from the rest of his duckling siblings. He wanted to be like the rest of them. And not only did that happen, but he was even more beautiful. He was a swan. He wasn't even a duck when he grew up. He became a beautiful swan. So his heart desires came true, but they came true in an even bigger and more beautiful way. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. If your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star, as dreamers do.
Watch this short clip of ducklings working together to get what they want and accepting that is the only way that they will reach their goal.
Kids camp!
After watching that video, you can see how the ducklings are accepting of one another and have a good sense of teamwork. And acceptance is a concept that is necessary to have when forming teams of such, because you need to be accepting of one another when you want to form bonds and not make fun of anybody or have reasons not to be friends with someone just on personal and physical traits they have. So it's always good to be accepting and make sure that you know how to accept one another in life. So my question for you is, are you accepting? And do you know how to be accepting?
Tell me the duck story.
Bum bum bum, ba-dum ba-dum. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bum bum bum, got any grapes?" The man said, "No, we just sell lemonade, but it's..."
Oh, it's okay.
Hey everyone, my name's Will, and I hope that you've had a great time with our Bobcat Buddies story time. I hope that you've really gotten to know the importance of acceptance with people who might not look like you, might not act like you, but just know that you need to accept them in all. I hope that you've enjoyed our story time, videos, songs, arts and crafts, and the games that we played. I hope that you have a great rest of the day. Bye.